Hi, and welcome to the 12th House podcast, where we talk about making the unseen seen. I'm Michelle Pelizon, the CEO and head witch in charge at Holisticism, and I'm very excited that you're here listening with us today. In today's episode, I talk to AJA Daashuur from Spirithouse Collective, and oh my God, she's amazing, you guys. I can't wait for you to listen to this episode. I definitely embarrassed myself in the beginning of our conversation because I think I fangirled like a little too hard. You know, quarantine hasn't been kind to me and my social graces. If I was an introvert before, I've like doubled down on the introvertedness, and I'm definitely like 100,000 times more awkward than I used to be. And, you know, my partner, my dog don't really care. They're used to it. But other people, I kind of forget that I need to like be a regular person, you know, be a little bit more normal with them. So anyways, that's all to say. AJA was a great sport. And she is just truly a delight. In this episode, we talk about what it's like being intuitive or running a business, because spirit guides like literally pop in. They just pop in to say, hey, they pop in this episode. If you listen to it, you're going to hear she makes a reference that her guides are showing her something, which is fucking sweet. But I just love the way that she talks about intuition and how grounded she is, and also how she talks about the need for using our intuition in order to find our purpose, and how that's really the driving force for her and the work that she does. We also talk about traumatic experiences, like something like a depressive episode or a really bad breakup, or another maybe grief experience that could happen in your 20s or 30s that often acts as sort of the gateway to accessing deeper parts of your intuition or regaining your intuitive or psychic abilities. In AJA's case, both intuitive and mediumship abilities that she had since she was a little kid. So we talk about that, and which is a recurring theme that I keep seeing pop up. I'm kind of interested in doing an episode on this. So if you want to hear more about that, or you like upvote that, add to cart, we want an episode on bad breakups and intuition, you can send me a text at the number in our show notes, and I get it. It goes directly to my phone. So be nice to me because I'm a person, please. But we talk about that. We talk about her own intuitive abilities, and we also talk about Spirithouse Collective, which AJA recently made the choice to put it on hiatus for a short period of time while she works on some other things and sort of restructures the business. And that's a really bold move and a really self-assured, confident move. And I applaud her for it, because that is something that a true visionary does. And I think it's really cool. But I want you to hear more about her thought process behind it, because she's so intelligent and thoughtful, and it makes so much sense. I hope that when you listen to this episode, you feel inspired to connect to your own spirit guides, to connect to your own intuition, and potentially, if you're interested in starting your own business or taking the leap into stepping on to your path of purpose, that you're inspired to do so from AJA's story and from our conversation. Let's get into the episode with AJA. Hi, AJA.
Hey.
I'm so happy to be talking to you, because I've been obsessed with you from afar for a really long time. And then out of the blue, a couple months ago, you emailed me, which was truly like manna from heaven. It was like goddess came down and rang my doorbell and was like, do you want the best gift ever? And you're like, hey, we should know each other. Do you want to hop on a phone call? And I was like, oh my God, I've reached a new level of like, I feel like a celebrity right now. The spirit guide coach is connecting with me. So can you tell everyone, now that I've fangirled in public, can you tell everyone your 30-second elevator pitch about what it is that you do and who you are?
Yes, 30-second elevator pitch. I love that. So people know me as the Spirit Guide Coach. And basically what I do every day is provide guidance of a therapeutic sort for clients, involving connecting them to their spiritual teams, their specific spirit guides, so that they can gain more clarity and insight on where they are and where they're going. And I'm also the founder of Spirithouse Collective, which is a metaphysical collective where we connect the community to amazing, magical, mystical practitioners so that we can all learn more about ourselves, why we're here, and really learn to trust ourselves more when it comes to making decisions that are, can basically lead to fulfilling our lives and our destiny.
No big deal. Super casual stuff. Just like living your purpose, changing the world, living your destiny. Like, you're so multifaceted. I don't know how I think I told you this the first time we spoke on the phone, but I was like, how do you do everything that you do? You're this incredible, like, highly in demand facilitator and healer. You do past life regression. You are mega psychic. Like, we're going to talk about being psychic and running a business because I want to hear more about that from you. But like, you're psychic and you channel these incredible messages and you share them on Instagram. You also like mentor what seems like hundreds of baby healers and psychics and witches that are sort of coming up in LA and abroad. And you create community, you like uplift and empower. It feels like every single person like in LA. And you also just, like releasing a tarot deck.
I'm releasing
I,
the
I,
Oracle deck. Yeah, yeah.
how do you do
Well,
everything?
first of all, I'm just like, I feel like I'm shining. I'm just glowing from all of that love. I feel the same way about you, though. Like every time
Oh,
you're doing
stop it.
something, every time I get an email from you too, I'm like, when is she writing these emails? And with like, you know, the humor and the heart, anyway, everything that you're saying, I'm just like pushing right back on you because it's
Oh.
not easy to do all of these things. And I don't think I'm a really great multitasker. I have to say that I have an incredible team that helps
Mm,
me to put into action the dreams that I have, you know?
mm,
And I think that has been the really like that's the backbone of everything that I do. Also, I always like to say that I definitely believe that I embody the Fool card in the tarot, which means that I
mm.
am always ready to take a leap of faith. I'm just like, where's that cliff? I'll walk off it. I trust that I'll land where
And I'm gonna
I
sing all the way off it. I'm gonna look amazing while I'm doing it.
that's what I'm going to do because if I fall, I know that I've learned something in the process and I can just do it all over again.
Whoa. That's like, okay, so this is where I'm like, oh yeah, that's why she's such a mega entrepreneur because those are the ovaries, as I like to say, that you like have to have in order to in order to run a business, right? Where you're just like, well, fuck it. There's a really good chance that this could fail and it would suck and I'm gonna lose all my money and I'm not gonna have any friends. Or it could not end up like that. Like it could be really great. And let's just see what happens. And most people are like, no, that's a no for me. Like those things sound like one of those things doesn't sound good. And some people like you are like, it's worth it. Like, I'm down. Let's choose the better adventure. Do you feel like you're a better entrepreneur or like you're primed to be an entrepreneur because of how psychic you are? Because you have that like innate knowing that you're always going to land on your feet?
Oh, that's such a good question. First of all, no. Second of all, like without even, I mean, do I talk to my guides a lot about my business? Absolutely. But I don't feel
Mm,
like I need to talk to them about everything. Like if an idea comes to me, I trust myself. And that's a lot of the work that I do with clients in the community. It's like what you're working on when you're connecting to the spiritual, connecting to the psychic, connecting to your guides, all you're doing is working on trusting yourself. If you want to do
mm,
something, just do it. You know, like without expectation, you know, see where it goes because it's guaranteed to change along the way. And when I
mm.
started my business, I had no idea how to run a business. I had no money. Like I just was like, I
Same.
feel like I did, yeah, like no money. I was working retail and I told myself I'm going to save 6 months of half of my rent and then quit my job and focus on, you know, what I want to do, knowing that I can always get another fucking retail job, you know, but I
Hmm.
might not have another opportunity to take this leap of faith.
Wow. You were even more prepared than I was. I couldn't save 6 months. Like I just couldn't. And so, yeah, but same, I would just say, well, I know how to get a job. Like I've worked retail, been a waitress, I've been a cater waiter. Like I can always go get a job. I'm like gonna be fine.
We can get a
Yeah.
job. We can get other jobs, and you know, and but I just want to say to anyone that's listening to this, the fool isn't always like the fool card isn't always the best road to follow. It's the one I mean, I moved to New York with like $50 in my bank account and got there and was like,
Oh,
whoa, maybe I don't know if this is the right thing to do.
it's like a little expensive here. I don't
Here, like bananas are like $5. Like what's going on? You know?
know. Where are you from
I'm
originally?
originally from New York, but I will say this, I feel most at home in California and Los Angeles. Like
Mm,
New York is definitely for me like the moon card in the tarot. I go there and immediately all the shadow stuff starts coming up. I mean, it's hard for me to even get on the plane. Like shit happens at the airport. I'm just like, flights are delayed. I'm like, New York energy is already like, we're coming for you, Asia. We're going to go through. But, you know, my whole awakening started when I had moved back to New York during like a really crazy period of deep, deep depression. And I don't think I'd be where I am today if I hadn't moved back to New York with like $50 in my pocket to go through that process of realizing how lost I was and how that didn't need to be the way the rest of my life felt.
That's a tweetable. Everyone who's out there, go back, rewind, write that down, put it in your notebook, get it as a tattoo, maybe like on the inside of your wrist, because that is really powerful. Okay, I want to double click on this. Were you already super psychic before you had this sort of like dark night of the soul experience?
I had a lot of experiences as a child. I saw spirits and ghosts all the time. And then around, I would say, my 8th grade, freshman year of high school, I just completely shut it down. I didn't want anything to do with it. And what's interesting about the brain is that you can really forget. Like I forgot all of those experiences. I completely, when people would talk about like ghosts, you know, at a party, I would just, you know, like tune in like, oh,
You'd be like, wow, ghosts, weird.
I completely, and it would like once in a while my mom would bring something up, like, remember when you were talking to so and so in the corner? And I'm like,
Oh, I just got chills.
that's, you know, but until my, you know, that depression in New York, and I went to see a shaman, I think it was my 33rd birthday, when I was just like, something's got to give, you know, something's got to change. That all of these memories started coming back, and that would also scare the shit out of me. I was like, wow, I've shut down so much that I've completely forgotten the magic that I was connected to. And that's also not okay. And how many, I'm sure there are so many kids and teenagers, young adults, mature adults who have forgotten through circumstances, trauma, or just, you know, pure denial, forgotten how magical they are and the options that they have.
Right. It's kind of like our built-in protection systems are not as discerning as we wish they could be, right? They sweep the good along with the sort of shadowy and scary inside of us and make it really hard to unlock. I bet there are a lot of people out there who are like, wait, what? Wait, I want to hear more about that. But like, did you have not a lot of memories of your childhood, like period,
No.
before this time? Or was it just these sort of spookier, more psychic experiences
I had massive like night terror, fear. I spent almost every night like tiptoeing into their room due to people, you know, being in my room. I used air quotes there, and just feeling scared a lot of the time. So I think that's really what it was. And then I would have premonitions as well. And I was like, this is just like, I'm just trying to be as normal as possible. I want to live that Beverly Hills 90210 life in high school and junior high. And this is like just, you know, too much, you know, until actually I saw The Craft, you know, opening night, sophomore year.
A classic.
Classic. I went and I was like, oh, wow, there are people that are kind of like me, and it seems to be okay, but this is a movie, right? So like what it was, you know, and even then though, after like the initial high of that movie came out, I was like, and back in the closet I go.
Yeah. Well, I imagine if you didn't have anyone around you, you kind of knew what that was. Like, who could you even talk to about it?
I mean, my parents were pretty open about it, but I don't think they necessarily knew what to do about it either. They were very, oh, that's interesting. You know, what do you think about that? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm 8, or, you know,
You're the grown up. You tell me.
You tell me. I mean, I vividly remember, and I'm sure you've experienced this, you know, now where like you wake up in the middle of the night, there's no reason why, you're just awake. And I vividly remember being 12 years old and waking up and seeing like an old man standing in my doorway and being so terrified.
Oh my God.
That I got up and ran through him to my parents' room, like so scared that I was like, I
feel like I'm going to throw up. That is like,
you know, and
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's not what you want to. And then I later found out that I was sleeping, like my bedroom, and I drew a picture of him, and my mother showed it to our neighbor who'd lived in the building for like 40 years or something. She's like, oh, that's Mr. So-and-so. Asia's room was actually his home office. And I
Stop.
was like, yeah, no, done. Like, not, not doing this anymore.
Get me out. No thanks.
My mom was like, isn't that interesting? And I was like, no, Mom, that's terrifying. Lights on
Oh
all
my
the time
God.
now, always.
Right. But that's really cool. I have to give your parents like major props because they could have been like, stop, like, or shamed you for it, right? I love that your mom was like, isn't that interesting?
No.
Oh man.
Mhm.
So it went that sort of like that part of you got hidden inside, and then you had this period of depression where you sort of unlocked it.
Mhm.
I feel like that's so common. So many people I talk to are like, oh, all my intuitive, not so common, but I got so intuitive after like this horrible breakup where I like, you know,
100%.
ever I thought my entire life was going to fall apart. Or like when I did go through like serious clinical depression, on the other side of it, I found my intuition.
Mhm.
Not that like you have to go through these horrible experiences, which I don't wish upon anyone experiencing many of those types of things, or like a horrible health scare. But it's interesting how something can come out of that it leaves you more connected to who you are.
Definitely, it breaks you open. Like, and also the more
Yeah.
vulnerable emotionally you're feeling, the more open you are to spirits and to the unseen. So it totally makes sense that it corresponds with, a trauma, a death, a depression. You're also, more willing to see beyond the veneer.
Hmm.
You're able to kind of go deeper just instinctually again. You're not willing to swallow what everyone else just like, like, how are you doing? I'm fine. I'm fine too. Just the programming, you're like, this is bullshit. Like there's, you know, and sometimes that can be incredibly overwhelming and scary. I mean, most of the time, but you're right. You do come out on the other end with a deeper understanding of your own truth, which I think is a major reason why we're all here living this life.
Hmm. Yeah, it's almost like everything that you believed in that was real is no longer real to you anymore. And so that's really disorienting and scary because you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to believe? Like, I thought the ground was under my feet, but it turns out it's the other way. And like,
Yes.
nothing makes sense anymore, but it makes you question everything. It makes you question the people around you and how you relate to them and how you're perceived by the world and how you perceive the world. And that's where you can have these crazy breakthroughs where you're like, oh, I'm actually hearing people or seeing people or something else.
Yes, yes, and I love that you mentioned, yeah, people can definitely fall away when you're going through an awakening. And I have clients who get very like, nervous about that. They're like, I can't connect with my friends anymore, or my partner, or my family. And I want to be clear about like, yes, there might be people that fall away, but that doesn't mean they fall away forever. You're just almost
Mm.
like taking different trains on a different track, and then you can come back around. I have friends that fell away, and now they've come back. I just needed to take that time. They couldn't meet me where I was trying to go, and that's okay.
That's beautifully said. That's a scary thing about growth is that you're not sure who's going to grow with you and who's going to grow apart from you. No matter if you've decided to take a vow that says you're going to grow together, like it could mean that you don't. You're not in control of that all the time, but that's not a reason not to grow because you're afraid that you'll grow away from people. Like you're going to grow regardless.
Totally.
It's really scary. Like if all you feel like you have in this world are your relationships, then
Mm,
that can be really intimidating.
definitely. I mean, and I would say to that, then that means that you haven't become your own friend enough. Like,
Hmm.
you haven't, that bond needs to be worked on. Because that's the bond that everything branches off from.
That's so true. And I wonder if, because we've had this quarantine experience globally for the last 9 months, do you feel like people are befriending themselves? Like, do you think we had like a global group of people be like, I guess I'm my own BFF now?
I think so. And I think for a lot of people, it's been incredibly upsetting and
Yeah.
because I'm sure some people there. We all know some people that like don't want to be alone, don't want to give
Hmm.
themselves time to think, don't want to go inward at all. They need the social interaction. They need the noise. So this has probably been incredibly tough, but also so probably insightful as well in terms of like the missing pieces like that they were filling with these things that don't really matter. Like, of course, connection, being social, all of those things have so much value to them. If there's an issue, if you being with yourself for an extended period of time, then there's another layer of work that needs to be, that you need to sink your teeth into. Yeah.
Yeah, like Bro, you're all that you really got. So you got to get used to being with yourself.
For sure.
You just said something that made me think about your business and being like busy because you do so many things. And I feel like you and I are a little bit cut from the same cloth. When quarantine hit, we were like, oh, everyone else is taking a break. Oh yeah, okay. I'm just gonna like triple my business and what I do. No, 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 it's fine. Like you should rest though. But I'm gonna do like 1,000 more things. Not to like totally drag you, but I'm there with you.
Dragging,
Like we're
dragging.
dragging ourselves.
Mhm.
But you are taking a big break. And like I feel like it is with Spirit House
Mhm.
and you're focusing on your own work and all the spirit coach work. That is such a like baller move. Just like first and foremost, be like, no, I'm pausing this part of my work. Like, oh my God, Oprah. Okay. Incredible. That's an Oprah move. But how is this quarantine like? What has it shown you about your work that led you to that point?
Yes, it showed me how unbalanced my life had become, not just for
Mm.
me, but for my staff. The idea of always pushing, pushing to whatever this invisible next level was supposed to be, it's just not sustainable. The idea of the community needs this, so we need to provide this. This community needs this, which I love. Like, I love doing that. But then at the end of the day, my team and I were left with, like nothing in the tank for ourselves.
Mm.
So, and I want to say that, but also, on my last birthday when I was in Joshua Tree before the pandemic hit, I heard one of my guides say, you should think about closing Spirit House. And I was like, that's
You're like,
ridiculous.
get out
You
of
know,
here. No one
I've been
asked
doing
you.
great. No one asked me. I don't know why you brought that up. And it just felt like if I want Spirit House to actually continue to grow and be an example of the way not only the way businesses can run, the way that they
Mm.
can provide support for not just the community but for their staff, the people that keep the lights on and make sure that there are workshops to click on and information to learn from and spaces of healing, then I need to be able to provide that space of healing for us. And the only way to do that was for me to decide that we needed basically a long sabbatical. I mean, we're
Hmm.
probably going to be reopening in late spring or summer, and I want to restructure things so it's just as nurturing on both sides of the fence, if that makes sense. And there was a lot of grief with that. Like, I was like, people are going to be upset, and what am I doing? And, the BIPOC community, needs us right now. And I was like, wait, I'm part of the BIPOC community.
Wait, I need to
I
leave right now.
need,
Hold on.
yeah, I need some time, and I deserve that. And there are so many people that are doing great work, and I'll make sure that Spirit House, in terms of just social media wise, that we still are leading people in the right direction until we come back.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a very different perspective on business than I think a lot of people. I think we both probably hold many of the same values around running anti-capitalist businesses and building communal businesses that are actually supportive and generative as opposed to like degenerative and yeah, like sucking the life force energy out of the people that are running them. That's like the opposite of anything that I want my fingerprints on anything. Like I don't want that associated with who I am and what I do. And I think that what you're doing is so intelligent and so intuitive and probably exactly what's going to be needed to be done as we go into the second lockdown period as well. So I'm excited to see where Spirit House, what the rebirth looks like, because I don't think that this is an end in any way at all. Again,
I
to
got
your point,
plans.
it's a oh yeah, you should please. This one, she's got mad plans. Like I'm not worried about that, but I think it'll be so interesting to see how you restructure. And I think that there's something really powerful about putting your foot down and saying this is not what I do not consent to not feeling supported or to my team not being supported. I will no longer stand for this. Even when it's like not super extreme, right? Like I'm sure everyone was getting taken care of, everyone was getting paid. You guys were getting rest, but maybe not as much rest as you should. It wasn't to a level where you're like, this is untenable, this is unsustainable. And to be able to like sort of hold it before it gets there and say, wait a second, no, this is going down the wrong path and I'm not interested in perpetuating this. I want something better. I want something new. Again, is such a baller move, Asia. Like it's really cool.
Well, I do want to point out that, like, I want Spirit House to be as transparent as possible. And to if
Mm-hmm.
some of the things that you said, we were like, the staff wasn't making the amount of money that they should have been making. I wasn't getting a
Mm-hmm.
salary at all. Like
Yeah.
this is Spirit House, for all the work it does for all the countries it's connected to, was not generating the income that was going to allow us to continue at the rate that we were going. And
Mm.
if the financial infrastructure couldn't be there to support the output that my staff was giving, I had no choice but to say, then we need to stop this train and rebuild it in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
because everyone deserves to get what they deserve. I deserve to get, whether it's more rest or some type of financial compensation for
Both.
the years that yeah, exactly. For the years that I put into this, that wasn't in the cards in this specific moment. I believe that absolutely can happen. There are other collectives that I know of that are struggling. They're like, everything looks great on the outside, but like, we don't have any money. I don't know how we're going to do this. And I've been putting things together, and I'm sure, with spit and
Oh
tape,
yeah.
and spit and tape only goes so far before your mouth runs dry, So
Mm-hmm.
this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me, because of all of the information I now have collected and I have, to not just reevaluate, but create an easier way for us to offer healing. I'm actually like, one of my guides is showing me something. After offering healing for the entire body versus for just like one arm or one leg.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm just gonna like compliment you the whole time if that's okay with you. But
I'll take
I think it's okay, great. I just think it's so wise of you to, instead of doing something like saying we're gonna run a crowdfunding campaign, or we're gonna try and get investors,
it.
or we're gonna pour more money into this thing that's kind of maybe is kind of leaking energy, right? And isn't feeling exactly right, or
Mm-hmm.
isn't feeling like as healthy as it possibly could feel, to say, actually, let's just take a break. Like, let's look at this again. Let's restructure this. Like, let's figure out a more creative way for this to work. Because I think most people would be like, how do we just get more money to like
Yeah.
keep sort of limping along?
Yeah.
And while I don't want to like, give shade towards that, because if you feel like that's right for your business, do it. I just want to point out and like shine a light that there's another way. That doesn't have to be the only option, because that option can be, that's like running on adrenaline to me,
Oh,
right? Where you're just like, oh, I'm just trying to find a solution right now. And like, we need to get money and I don't know how to get it. And I guess we'll like do a crowdfund. And yeah, that just sounds so stressful.
yeah, that's the scarcity mindset, which I've been struggling with since I was, a teenager, and I just don't think it's necessary right now. We have an amazing community. Our community isn't going
Mm.
anywhere, and
Your community is awesome.
I'm like, I feel so blessed, and coming from like just me alone in my living room to so many people, and whatever we decide, they're going to support it. And again, like I said, I've got ideas. I'm just also giving myself the permission to not like manifest or create the idea or work on it and have it ready to launch in 3 weeks. Instead, say, I'm going to take 4 or 5, 6 months.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a luxury,
Mm.
but it kind of feels like a luxury sometimes. And it's just, but it's good. It's really good business. And more importantly, it's like that's what's good for your soul. That's what's good for your intuition. Do you know what you are in human design?
No, and you're like the sixth person that's asked me, and I should find out.
Yeah, yeah, you should find out. Well, if
I'm
you
a
know your birth,
trader.
like all your birth chart info, send me it and I'll look it up for you, because I have I have the software. Not like I'm a human design person. I really don't know that much about it, but I'm just like perennially curious. So I love to learn more. But I wonder what you are, because some different types are like, they need to have 5 or 6 different projects in the works and like put
Oh
one
my
aside for a little bit and focus on another one. And then while they're doing that, it's like something's percolating in the background. And then all of a sudden that lightning bolt of intuition comes through and they're like, all right, ready to take the next leap on the project that's been on the back boiler for a while. So I wonder if that's you.
Well, I was trying to figure out if I could just like figure it out online while we're talking, but it doesn't look
Oh,
like
hell yeah.
the. I'm like, how do you find out?
Here, there's a website called Jovian Archive, I think, and that's free. And you just put all your
Oh,
birth
here it is.
data in.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Is this wrong to do right now?
No, do it right now. I would love the reveal on the podcast.
Let's do it. I'm filling it out right now. Oh wait, I've got to just check the time I was born, which I also have. ready to go on here.
In good intuitive form. I mean, good natal chart form.
And let's see, my time might be a few minutes off, I do have to say.
I think that should be okay for
Okay.
your type. Yeah.
It says I'm a manifesting generator.
That's what I thought you were. Yeah, that's so you're like all the different things. I'm so jealous. You have the most energy. Oh, I'm so jealous. You're the same as my partner, Ethan. He's a manifesting generator too. And you just like love to have all these projects going and you have to do what lights you up. And as soon as something doesn't light you up anymore, you're like, later, losers, I'm out. Like, you got to quit whatever you're doing.
Totally.
Or else it just won't happen. But you can do like anything and you have all the energy in the world to do it. I'm so
I'm
jealous.
gonna repeat that on a mantra to myself. I can do anything. I can do anything. Yeah.
I can call you and record that if you would like.
Oh, please. I love that. What a great mantra. We can all use that. I can do anything.
You can do anything good. I like to say to my students, you're an intuitive business genius.
Oh.
Like anytime you feel stuck, like you're a business genius.
Oh,
like
I
you've got
love
this.
that.
Because you are. You're a manifesting generator, so I'm already jealous of you for all the reasons, but we can tack that one onto the list. So I feel like that's a great segue into how you use your intuition in your work. And you kind of alluded to this earlier, but you're like, I'm not like consulting my guides for like, should I write this email or not? So how does like running your business intuitively, do you use like specific tools or skills, or is it kind of just like free flowing? And then when it comes to the big decisions or choices, you're like, yo, y'all, what's up? Like, what's happening?
I think that's a really great question. I have to say that in the beginning, when I first started my business, my guides were super active. So one of my guides was the first one that said I should combine life coaching with, the ability to connect people to their guides. And I was like, whoa, that sounds really scary. And like people will think I'm a freak and I could be ostracized. And then one of my guides also said that I should start a spirit, like a metaphysical collective. And I was like, I don't even know what a collective is. Okay, and I said yes to both those things. But I do believe that since my trust has grown so much in myself and my connection to them, that I believe that I have a really clear channel. So if I get an idea, I just want to follow through with it. There's a reason. It's not just dropping out of the sky. And that's also what spirit guides talk to me a lot about, with the clients that I have. It's you're asking for information, you're asking for input, you're asking for this guidance, you're asking for these signs. And then the question is, but what are you going to do with them now that you have them?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so many people go to tarot readings or, I don't know, they'll get their
the eye roll. I wish I could
coffee
record the eye roll that I just saw from you, which was amazing.
Well, it's just that, you get this information and so many people just go about their day.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, well, then what was that for? What, I mean, this is sacred. This is guidance, even if it's just from your higher self, which is, you at its purest form. You have to activate that, otherwise nothing's going to change.
Yeah, that's so true. I feel like that's when people first start tapping into their intuition, it's almost just like shock and awe that they can get messages, right? Of like, whoa, wild. And it's information and you have to use like it's all just information. It's not happening, right? We need to put it in motion.
Yes.
We get to choose what we want to do with that information, right?
Yes.
So you can decide to act on it if you want. And you can also like give it the double middle finger and be like, I don't care.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
But like it's information, just like the data from your business is information, and you can view it equally, as I think you and I like to, right? Like give it equal weight.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will give it less weight, their intuition less weight than what they can see. Some people will give their intuition more weight than the reality that they see in the world or the proof that they see in the world. But at the end of the day, like we have free will, do whatever we want with it.
Like you're taking the words. Yeah. I mean, that's what I tell clients in the beginning. I say, I'm not a mystic that believes that everything's set in stone. Whatever your guides have to offer you, you can completely change the trajectory of what they're saying and they'll adjust accordingly with whatever direction that you choose to go in. I don't know. That's also why when I think about, tarot or oracle readings or any type of clairvoyant readings, I mean, I don't even call the work I do readings, they're sessions. I'm not, reading somebody, this is therapeutic work. You're coming in to have a conversation with me, to talk to your guides, to figure out what it is you're doing, so that you feel stronger and more able to create what it is that you want in your life. Period. That's it. I'm not going to, tell you your fortune. I'm not going to lay out like who your next employer is going to be or when you're going to meet your soulmate, because all of that honestly just depends on what you want to do for yourself. And if you feel strong enough to walk towards that, and you might not right at this moment.
Right. And it's not an indictment against you if you decide you don't want to or you're not
No,
ready. Like you're not going to get penalized
you
for it, which,
not. You're not. You're not. But and I let people know that just as you said, we have free will, and your guides are gonna offer you information again because time for them is a sphere. Everything's happening at once. That you might not even understand what they're talking about in this moment. But as the days and weeks unfold, certain things will begin to click into place. It's about being open to receiving. And that channel you might have it might be closed. Like I've definitely had people. I'm so blessed and lucky, like it's very few and far between who I start, telling them what their guides are saying and they're like, nope, 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 nope. I'm like, okay, well, then you're just not ready and that's totally okay.
wait, people will come and pay you money to connect with their guides and then they'll be like, thanks, but no thanks.
Not necessarily like that. More about I've had people come in that are like, hey, I want to know when I'm gonna meet my soulmate. I'm like, oh, you want a fortune teller? That's not what I do. Okay, well, all right, let's just see how this goes. We go a few minutes. Okay, so when am I gonna meet my soulmate? Oh, I guess you didn't hear me the first time. I'm not a magic 8 ball. That's not what they do. Like, also, if you keep asking me this, there's obviously some work that needs to be done, and your guides are trying to
Right.
talk. All right, okay. I'm like, do you want to? Should we end the call now? I can give you a refund. What do you need to do? No. I'm still here. Okay, 2 minutes go by. So when am I going to meet my soulmate? Okay,
No.
well, not on this fucking call. I can tell you that.
It
You
ain't
know,
me. I can tell you that right now.
it's definitely not me. And and I get that there's like obviously fear there. Like, will I meet the one? Will I have
Mm,
connection? Will I have love? And again, it brings me back to that question about there are pieces that are missing or have been damaged or crushed or torn apart within the self that says the only thing that can fill it is the energy of another person. And that's
mm.
honestly probably what your guides are going to be talking about. Not because you don't deserve love, not because there's not a partner out there, but there's some other things that are just honestly more important right now that you're not looking at.
Yeah, you could meet your soulmate tomorrow, but you might not be ready for them if you can't address that, right? Because like
Yeah.
they're not there to complete you. They're there to be their own person and you're here to be your own person. And if you're going to put that on them, they're
Yes.
probably going to lose them, you know?
Yes. Yes. And then you're going to have to repeat this whole thing again. Like we're trying to get through lessons so that when we come back, when we're incarnated again, we're like, oh, I can check that off my fucking list.
Did that last time. I feel like you're so well versed in that because you do past life regression, which is one of my most favorite things that I've ever done in all the things I've ever tried. Past life regression, I think, is the thing that blows me the way away the most, and I have like the most vivid memories of, even 6 or 7 years later. How did you get into that?
I remember reading Dr. Brian Weiss's Many Lives, Many Masters when I was about
Same, so good.
10 or 11. Yeah, been really interested in it. Yeah, I was like, this is really interesting. I don't really understand what's happening, but it seems really interesting. And then before I, was really started being connected psychically, I knew that I wanted to be trained in hypnosis of some sort because I believed that that could really help people kind of overcome some false narratives and really get to the root of things. And then once, I really stepped into my psychic work, I thought, well, why don't we go further into past life regression? Because I feel like, I mean, as human beings, we want to tie things up in a bow. We want to see a pattern. We want to be able to connect things logically to what's happening in our life now. And I believe past life regression can do that. It can offer answers that we might not be able to get with our conscious mind in the here and now. So I signed up to take a course of Dr. Brian Weiss, which was fucking like bananas. I was like, this is like a dream come true.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Oh, he has Jesus energy. It's really crazy. Like he's the most
Really?
gentle and kind and quiet and thoughtful person. Just I don't even know. Like he blew me away. Like his energy was so
Wow. Big
thoughtful.
Jesus energy.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever even said that about anyone except for him. Just in the
Wow.
sense that zero ego. Like just no ego. Like here's what I believe and I'm going to share it with you and we'll see what happens. And also one of the most brilliant like psychoanalysts, like his resume is insane.
He's done so much. He's also trained
Oh,
so many people. Like his work has changed the lives of millions of people.
millions and millions of people. And one of the things he said is that, which I love, which I believe all of us, it's not a shortcoming, it's a sign of strength, is the ability to evolve. And he said, when I first started this work, only analysts, therapists were allowed to take this course.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, most, will say in the course that I took, most of the people there were also psychoanalysts and therapists and hypnotherapists, but there were also a handful of mediums. And he's like, I love
Cool.
mediums. Like, I love it. So taking that course was amazing. And obviously now during this pandemic, the way that I work with clients in past life regression is very different. It's very meditative and journey-esque versus just taking someone into a trance or hypnotic state. But I've seen it just work wonders, which is now why, especially with the year we're having, I'm focusing on future life progression so that people can really put themselves in a future. Say, again, if someone was like, I want to see my soulmate, well, let's put you in a future life where you've met that soulmate. What does that feel?
Whoa.
What is it you're feeling about yourself? What kind of person are you? What are you learning in that life that you can take to this present?
Oh my God, that's so cool. Okay, now I just need to go a little bit deeper on this with you because I fucking love this shit. I love multiverse theory. I love string theory. I love the idea that we're living in simultaneous universes that are, sort of beside each other and that we can dip in and out of them and experience them all at the same time because time is a flat circle.
Yes.
Is that what you're doing when you're future progressing someone? Are you like basically moving them into an alternate universe?
Either we're moving into a life that they haven't incarnated into yet, or if we're focusing on moving into a period of time within this life, we're looking through a portal. And I believe there are millions of portals, that we could like put ourselves into. So it's like, what is the one that I really actually want to invest in? And that, when you're putting yourself, like, say, 5 years down the line, 1 year down the line, 6 months down the line, now that you have that information, you can focus that energy more in the present in order to push yourself into that portal versus kind of
Yes.
like just letting the universe take you wherever, like kind of like a ship, just floating with no direction.
Oh my God, you're speaking my language. I just taught a class called Portals and it was about intuitive business. And I picture portals as like, have you ever worn like ballet tights or just tights, I guess, regular old tights? And when you get a little tiny hole, I don't know why I went straight to ballet, but when you get a hole and you can like put your finger through the hole and it can either get really, really big or you can kind of actually
Yes.
like smooth out the fabric and make the hole kind of go away. That's how I feel
Yes.
like what portals are, right? Where you're like, I actually just want to like squeeze through this one and like go into this other universe or this other reality because I'm like saying yes to it. Oh, okay. This is so exciting. Oh my God. Your book's open soon, right?
My book's open
Pardon?
on December 15th. Oh, I believe it
Okay.
happens even like friends of mine that live on the west side. I'm like, are they in another portal completely? Like, because we are just like, and then
So we are living
we'll
different
come together,
realities right now.
totally different realities, and then we'll come together for a moment. Our portals will connect, our timelines will connect, and then
Mm.
we'll go back out. Yeah, it's really interesting. I also think about like a version of myself who someone's talking to about, mediumship, and this other version of me is like, this person's fucking crazy. Do you hear what this person's talking about? Mediumship. And then I'm here like living my best life talking to dead people. But yeah, I mean, my book's open on December 14th.
So y'all get your future progression in.
Yeah, it's oh, I mean, but I just want to, for anyone that's listening, I do hold like group future and past life regressions every month. So don't ever feel like you're missing the boat or the train. It'll always be available because I feel like that work is just super powerful.
That's amazing. We did a past life regression. My whole team got to do it, but we did it for our North Node community. And it was one of the most, which is our sort of membership community with intuitive entrepreneurs and leaders. And so it was incredible to do that together with each other and then to
Yeah.
just hear what came up for everyone. It was, oh my God, it's so fucking fun. It's so cool. It brings up a lot. The lessons that you pick up are so deep. Yeah, it's nothing like you would imagine. I think if you're hesitant to try past life regression, I would say jump in. It's really fun and cool. And if you've lost someone, if you're experiencing grief right now, which I think so many people are, for obvious reasons, there's a lot of death in the country right now and in the world. But that was what brought me to past life regression. I experienced like a bunch of traumatic deaths and ended up reading Dr. Brian Weiss's book and then got obsessed with it. And it was everything and more than I needed. I don't think I would have survived that period of my life if I didn't have that to hold on to. So if you're going through some sort of grief, I would like push you to go join AJA's class or try to connect with AJA, because I think that would be really a beautiful experience for you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, please come and join us, you know. Also, the idea of, you know, your community, my community, community in general, being a place that I feel like it's become so much more quote unquote acceptable to share these experiences, to not just be alone in your room in the dark, like with your deck, like, is anyone watching? You know, or like talk about past life regression. I mean, I love when I mean, again, post pre-pandemic, when I would go out somewhere and I would hear someone talking about like shadow work or like their spirit guides or
Mm-hmm.
the Akashic
Mm-hmm.
records. I'm like, fuck yeah. Because I remember sitting at a table talking about like possession and stuff, and, you know, the people next to me staring at me and the person across from me going, shh. And I was like, fuck that, you know? What, I should like listen. It's fine for me to listen to this person about their dog, love dogs, you know, dog for like 45 minutes, but I can't talk about like the dream last night where I was like buried alive from my past life.
Right. Come on, people. Don't be selfish. Let me share my shit.
Like, let me live.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is such a cool time to be just like being a multidimensional human being where you can talk about mediumship and the Akashic records, and you can also talk about having like a P&L for your business and running an intuitive business and being an anti-capitalist and also doing
Yes.
other work in your community, like, and loving TV at the same time, right? Like we can be all the things. We don't have to just be
Yeah.
like spiritual people living up on a mountain who don't believe in Wi-Fi, right? Like that's bullshit. No, I want all the things, you know?
Yeah. I want internet.
I want it. I want high speed internet, okay? And I want really good clothes and makeup. God damn it. That's what I want, okay?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could talk to you for 100 million hours, but I know that you're doing a million things. So I need to share you with the rest of the
Oh, come
world.
on. You're doing a million things too. Don't lie. Come on. You're doing a million things too. You're both like, we're both like, we've got an hour and a half, and then we have to go on to the next thing on our to-do list.
Well, I'm technically on the East Coast right now, so it's a little bit later for
Oh my
me.
gosh. So, yeah, you need to eat dinner.
So yeah, I'm leaving New Hampshire today. We've been in New Hampshire for the last month, my partner and I, and we're driving back to LA tomorrow. So we're cleaning, we're cleansing the house, we're saying thank you. We've been living on this lake. It's actually been like the most amazing experience. I feel so, so, so lucky. And so we have to like go say thank you to the lake and to the trees and to the house for like holding us for the last couple of weeks together. But before we go, do you have any juicy hot takes or unpopular opinions? Actually, I feel like we did share a lot of great unpopular opinions that around the wellness or well-being space or the spiritual space that you're down to air on the 12th House podcast.
I don't know. I mean, I've been thinking about this. I don't know if this is a super unpopular opinion. I know I've gotten my share of, you know, flack for this, but the idea that if you're spiritual, you should be only be connecting to light and love, or the idea that if you're a spiritual person, you know, you should be calm and collected and angry. And that is like such bullshit. Like I believe like emotions are powerful, and anger can be such an incredible release, and expressing that anger can really unlock fire that can be generated and navigated into so many other avenues of abundance and clarity and love for self. So, you know, I also don't believe like being spiritual is just one thing. It is, just as we talked about multiple dimensions, it's multifaceted. However you connect to spiritualism, go for it, and I'll do the same.
I love that. That's perfect. Yeah, I would say don't trust anyone who's not angry right now because they're like maybe a sociopath. Not that no shade to sociopaths, but like, come on, don't do that. Like,
Yeah, if I'm not angry right now, I'm like, this is like, come on, this is the time to be angry and to, raise your voice and to, share that. Like, we're all fucking angry. We're all
there's a
angry.
lot to be angry about. Like, and that's
Exactly.
awesome. And feeling the depth of your emotions is fucking baller. It's cool. So don't run away from it.
Yes. 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 Yes to all of that.
Beautiful. Well, I love that unpopular opinion and I adore you and all the work that you do. Your book's open very, very soon. So people can find you at thespiritguidecoach.com and on Instagram at the Spirit Guide Coach, right?
Spirit Guide Coach or Spirit House Collective.
Yeah, both. And we'll drop all the links into the show notes. So I know you're definitely in love with Asia right now if you made it all the way through this podcast. So go stalk her on the internet, go become BFFs. You also can you still support the True Wellness program?
In our off season, you're going to be donating to Spirit House Collective so that we can continue to pay the bills and make the changes necessary. But you will be supporting a woman of color led business and BIPOC led, team. And then once we open again the True Wellness program, which offers free healing to the BIPOC community for white and white passing people to sponsor BIPOC healing, that will definitely be open once again.
Cool. So that's another way if you're a white passing person, you can connect with and support Asia's work. And if you are lucky enough to get in her books this time around, because she only opens her books a couple times a year, so jealous of you already. But run, don't walk to make sure you're on her email list so you get the notification when her books open.
Yes.
Cool. Well, this was so fun. It was so great to talk to you and hear all your genius musings. We're so lucky in LA to have someone like you doing the work that you do. And honestly, like on this planet, just having someone like you. So thank you for being yourself and being your bright, shiny self.
Oh, thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be talking to you, to be sharing, ideas, to be sharing our ideas and our stories. We need more of that, and the work that you're doing is so important as well. There's a reason that you and I are connected. There's a reason that our communities are growing and growing. It's because people are becoming more inspired to follow their heart.
It's pretty cool to be a part of.
Yes, it's amazing. I'm sure we all knew each other in past lives, and we're like, here we go.
Oh, you guys again. Hey, everyone. What's up? Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Asia. I hope you have a good rest of your night and you can rest a little bit.
Oh, you too. And I hope I'm sending you a big astral hug right now. And I'm sure you're gonna have a lovely evening, giving thanks to the land and to the house that's held you. And I'm sure I'm gonna talk to you pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, thanks for making space for me. I appreciate it.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
Bye.
So we are here with the team doing Witch of the Week. You got Wallace on the line, and we've got Thais, we've got Michelle. What's up, everybody?
Hi.
Loaded.
Thais, who is your Witch of the Week?
All right, y'all. So I feel like my Witch of the Week is very on brand for the time that we're in. There's this woman, her name is Claudia Jones, and I really respect her. She was like a communist, and she emigrated to the United States, I believe, from Trinidad and Tobago to America.
Cool.
Was a communist, and she fought for the rights of Black women within the Communist Party because, like, what she said was basically, we are trying to work towards equality, but we're perpetuating misogynoir, which is like the act of misogyny specifically against Black women. And like, she was really ahead of her time, and America couldn't handle it. So they deported her.
Not surprised.
For shame.
They hate communists so much, man.
You know what? They really hate a Black woman that knows who she is and is not going to take from a white man. And they can't handle that. So like, they had to.
That's the truth.
Right? And that's the energy. And that's why I'm like, you know what, sis? I'm with the energy. So she moved to the UK, started the Notting Hill Carnival. And
cool.
Dope.
Yeah, she was like, I want to bring the Caribbean experience to the globe and show you all just who we are. She wrote the West Indian Gazette, and like to top it all off,
Wow.
she's buried left of Karl Marx. So her tombstone is left of his. And I'm just like, you know, for her to like have been a communist and rode so hard for it to be next to like Karl Marx, I'm like, you know what? You committed all the way to death. So I respect you.
I'm just picturing them at some 5D carnival just having a time together.
100%.
On another dimension.
Yeah, they're just hanging out.
Yeah, Soka is a spiritual experience. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh man. I want to meet her.
yeah, she died. But yeah, no, I really respect how she was like, I'm a Black woman and you will see me. And not only will you see me, but you will give me what I deserve. And I'm not going to ask you for it. I'm going to take it. And I'm like,
And
yeah,
create it.
yeah, that's the energy. That's 2020 energy right there. She was ahead of her time. So
What's her name again?
her name is Claudia Jones.
Claudia Jones. Okay. I wonder if there's
An activist. Granted, her last name wasn't Jones. She did that for like to protect herself in the United States. But yeah, that's who she is, a Trinidadian activist and journalist. Yeah.
How did you come to know her?
When I was a student in college, my third year, I took a class called Black Feminisms. Shout out to Jennifer Morgan, the professor. We were learning about the super exploitation of the Black woman and how Black women cannot thrive in capitalism. And so she introduced to me back in college, and she's someone like there's three people. There's Audre Lorde, there's her, and then there's another woman named Frances Beale. And they've always just stood out to me because they were Black women that are like, I'm ahead of my time. I know my worth and you will not. And I'm like, you know what? That's the energy. That's the energy. So
That's big witch energy right there.
100%. 100%.
I want to
Beautiful.
check her out. I want to watch like a documentary on her or something.
You know, there's a book called Buried Left of Karl Marx, and it's written by Carol Boyce Davies. Yeah, Carol Boyce Davies, and she wrote the book, and it talks all about her.
All right.
Thais, I feel like you are like you're kind of an incarnation of this woman. Like you're taking Soka Yogs and spreading it across the globe, and you're just this like badass witch lady. So
You know
I feel like you're spreading the message.
Yeah, you know what? You reflected back to me who I actually. Yes, I didn't see that, but it makes 100% sense.
Wait, I want to hear about
so cool.
Soka Yogs. I don't know anything about this.
Soka Yogs is the combination of Afro-Caribbean soca, but also merging it with yoga and like the inherent Indian like characteristics that come with that. So
What?
yeah,
Sounds so good.
yeah, it's actually a technique that I made up, and it keeps me in shape. And Michelle has taken it, so has Janelle. Yeah,
We have a Soka Yoga Holisticism class coming up too.
yes, we do.
When?
In December. I'm really excited because what it is, channeling the energy of the ancestors, particularly like the African and the Indian ancestors coming, and then just like, what does that, and the whole point of like the things that I'll be teaching right now, since we are in a space of rest and healing, at least that's where I'm at, and that's what I channel and want to bring to people who experience the class, it's just like becoming like water, flowing like water, and feeling that flow within you, and just tapping into the sacral chakra, and just like allowing yourself to experience pleasure, creativity, sensuality, connection to self, and rest and heal, and just come out that joint and be like, I'm a bad bitch. And that's like, when I look at those and I come out, I'm like, damn, can't nobody fuck with me for real. So
I don't know if I can wait until December. I don't know. You just sold me. I need that now. We need Soka Yogs now, today.
We really do. We need more Soka Yogs in our life. Like that, we should do it as a team regularly. I'm so excited for it to come back.
Oh my God, guys, I can totally do that for the 4 of us. I will do a class just for us to like get.
Please.
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
so fun.
Yeah, I'll do it for us.
Yeah. Oh, I can't
It's
wait.
been so
Okay,
long
everyone.
since I've danced to soca too. It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because like Caravana's big in Toronto, right?
I went every summer
Nice.
when I was a kid. Like until I moved out of Toronto, I was there every summer. It's a big deal.
Oh my gosh, you probably know more about like Carnival and soca than I do, TBH.
I mean, I did learn how to dance from, a lot of my West Indian friends were like, nah, you need to know how to dance.
This will be so fun when you're in my class, because I loved it when, Michelle, I love you, but I loved when E was in the class because it was just, oh man, this is so fun to do this. So I feel like I would love when you're in my class, Mom.
All right, well, let's get it.
You're such a good teacher too, Thais, because you hold space for everyone, even if they are, to your point, maybe brand new to the practice or to movement, and you make it so fun. Like you hype everyone up so hard, it's like contagious. It's impossible not to have fun when you're teaching. So I can't wait till we get to do class together for the team and for Holisticism. It's gonna be so fun.
It's going to be a blast. And I think a part of it is because I truly enjoy doing it. And so because I enjoy it, I feel my ancestors. It's just like, and so I want to give you that feeling too, like, because I'm just on a high. Like, I just be like, I'm not even on Molly. This is just real life. And so I want to give you all the feeling of like, I'm not on Molly. This is just real life.
Ooh, I feel like this is maybe a potential future slogan for Soca Yogs. No, you're not on Molly. This is just your real life now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Thais. This is an amazing Witch of the Week.
Thank you, Claudia Jones. Check her out, everyone.
Thanks, Thais.
You're welcome.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. See you soon.
Yeah.